Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host. Today, we're diving into Superforecasting, the art and science of prediction by Philip E. Tetlock and Dan M. Gardner, published in 2015. This book takes us into the fascinating world of prediction, not by mystics or market pundits, but by regular people who, through rigorous thinking and methodical habits, consistently outperform the experts. So let's walk through it together, and by the end, you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. It all starts with a surprising premise. Most expert predictions are no better than chance. Tetlock actually proved this with a 20-year study where he gathered predictions from all sorts of professionals, political analysts, economists, policy advisors, and found that, as a group, they were roughly as accurate as flipping a coin. Some did even worse. But in that same data, a small group stood out. These weren't people with fancier titles or inside connections. They were just more careful thinkers. These were the Superforecasters. So who are these people? That's what the book sets out to explore. Superforecasters aren't visionaries. They're skeptics of certainty. They're the ones who say maybe, and it depends, and let's look closer. They break big problems down into smaller, more manageable parts. They revise their opinions when new evidence comes in. And above all, they stay humble. Not in the fake, I'm just being modest way, but truly humble, aware of how much they don't know, and open to learning more. One of the most powerful things they do is something called Fermi estimation. Named after physicist Enrico Fermi, this technique involves breaking a complex question into smaller questions you can answer, or at least estimate, then building up from there. For example, if you're asked to predict whether a political leader will fall from power, you don't just go with your gut. You look at historical data, current polling, approval ratings, economic conditions, upcoming elections, and even the track record of that country's institutions. Superforecasters zoom in and out constantly, balancing granular details with the bigger picture. And they're constantly updating. Tetlock emphasizes what he calls Bayesian thinking. That just means treating beliefs like forecasts always in motion. When new data appears, superforecasters adjust their predictions accordingly. They don't dig in their heels or get emotionally attached to their first guess. They treat it like a draft, not a declaration. Interestingly, many superforecasters work in teams. The Good Judgment Project, a forecasting tournament Tetlock ran, showed that when forecasters worked together, challenging each other's assumptions, sharing research, debating politely, they got even better. But the key was the tone. It wasn't about ego or dominance. It was about collaboration and curiosity. The book also gives a lot of weight to the how of forecasting, not just the what. Superforecasters are careful with their definitions. If they're asked, will the euro collapse? They don't just guess, they define exactly what collapse means. Does it mean one country leaves? More than one? A complete dissolution? Defining terms sharply keeps the forecast clear and testable. That level of precision is one of the reasons they're so accurate. And the accuracy isn't just theoretical. These superforecasters have actually outperformed intelligence analysts with classified information because they're more methodical, more curious, and more honest about uncertainty. That's pretty remarkable. But Tetlock doesn't suggest we all need to become full-time forecasters. The real takeaway is that these habits, breaking problems down, updating our beliefs, collaborating respectfully, and staying humble, can help anyone make better decisions in life, business, politics, or anything else that involves uncertainty. Which is pretty much everything. There's something refreshing about this book. It doesn't promise perfection. It doesn't glorify confidence or boldness. It celebrates nuance, reflection, and the quiet discipline of always trying to be a little less wrong. That's the essence of superforecasting, not predicting the future perfectly, but improving your odds of getting it right. Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. If you enjoyed this journey into the science of prediction, be sure to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading, and may your forecasts be thoughtful, flexible, and just a little more accurate.